Today we're talking about the Winter Olympics, and this year wasn't just about triple axels and slap shots, it was about something much bigger. Pride, pressure, politics, and what happens when all that shows up on the ice with you. What we saw wasn't just competition, we saw two very different mindsets. On one side, athletes who showed up locked in, grateful to wear the country on their chest, focused on the job. On the other, athletes who brought personal politics, social battles, and emotional weight into a moment that rewards discipline and composure. And here's what stood out. The athletes who stayed focused tended to perform better. The ones who made the moment about everything except the sport, yeah, not so much. People on the left are literally losing their minds over Olympians being openly proud to represent the US. I mean, it's like some people would rather see athletes apologize for being American than actually celebrate excellence. But thankfully, that is not what we saw from everyone. Also, don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss another episode. Let's get into it. Okay, we have to start with Alysa Liu because her story is very powerful. At 13, she became the youngest US national champion in history. From the outside, it looked like a dream. From the inside, it was control, pressure, and zero autonomy. She was told what to eat, what to wear, what music to skate to, when to train. The rink wasn't just where she skated, it was her entire world. And it wasn't a world she chose, so she quit. Not because she failed, but because she stopped feeling like it belonged to her. She went the other direction. She traveled, she took classes, she dyed her hair, she got her license, and she even climbed several mountains, which is pretty crazy. But she built an identity that had nothing to do with skating. Then a couple years later, something clicked. She went skiing and she felt that adrenaline again, joy without obligation. So she went to a public session, she landed a double axel and then a triple Salchow. And for the first time in a long time, skating felt like hers. 2 weeks later, she was back, but on her terms. She chose her music, she designed her costumes, she controlled her training, she set boundaries, she showed up as herself. And the shift wasn't technical, it was psychological, it seems. So when people own what they're doing, motivation lasts. And when they don't, burnout follows. And that's the case for Alysa. She didn't come back to prove anything. She came back because she wanted to be there. And when you saw her wrapped in the American flag, smiling, proud to represent the country, that matters and it's beautiful. You don't have to agree with someone on everything to respect their discipline and excellence. If someone competes with heart and represents the US with pride, that's enough. I want to show a clip of her winning performance. It's very long, so I'm just going to clip a little part of it.
She said, I don't need a medal. I just need to be here and show people what I can do. But what she doesn't know, if she does that, probably means a medal.
She told us that figure skating is her way to display her art. There's an easy, casual way about her skating. And even if she doesn't care about those medals and titles, if she skates very well here, she's likely to find herself on the podium.
My friend Grandel Evan said this perfectly, so I want to play it for you guys.
After telling us that Alysa Liu is super woke, the left-wing internet is super confused why right-wingers are still celebrating, because they can't fathom the concept of still appreciating and celebrating and uplifting someone with differing political beliefs. They don't understand that conservatives don't treat politics as a cult religion in which you have to outcast anybody who dare disagree with your long laundry list of ideological requirements. We aren't like that. We see an American who is proud of her country, who properly used her platform at the Olympics to promote national pride and national unity, instead of using that platform to bash the very country that gave her this opportunity. If anything, I'm probably more inclined to like her if we did find out that she is definitely woke, because unlike so many other woke people, especially those with a platform, she hasn't used her platform to make everything possible about politics.
Spot on. I also want to play another video for you guys of an interview of Alysa and listen to what Alysa has to say at the end.
Her attachment to her coaches can be literal. This harness and what looks like a fishing pole help reel her in before she falls. But eventually, they have to let her go.
No. Nah.
This is what it takes to become a champion. Constant pounding
I'm so tired.
in pursuit of perfection.
One more.
I saw that when you were training, and they're like, okay, that's good. And you're like, one more, one more.
Yeah.
You don't need somebody pushing you.
No, I have my own determination. My determination's up there.
You're pretty scrappy.
I love struggling, actually.
You do.
Yeah, it makes me feel alive.
She said she loves the struggle and that it makes her feel alive. And honestly, that is a mindset that we're losing. We live in a culture that treats discomfort like trauma, but growth doesn't come from comfort. You don't level up in life without pressure, persistence, and grit. And I really want to talk about her father. Her father, Arthur Liu, raised 5 kids as a single dad. He fled China after the 1989 Tiananmen Square massacre. The Chinese government reportedly tried to pressure the family to have Alysa compete for China instead of the US, and they said no, they chose America. So when Alysa skates for Team USA, that's not just sport, that is a story about choice, freedom, and opportunity. And that's the American dream on ice. Speaking of patriotism, I want to tell you guys about my patriotic clothing line. I'm actually wearing my crew neck right now. It's from my store, Patriotic Peach. You can check it out at patrioticpeach.com. This is my bestseller, the USA crew neck, and I've got a ton of patriotic gear on there. It's really chilly where I am right now, so it's the perfect way to stay warm and rep your country with pride. If you want to support the show and help me keep making content like this, grab something from patrioticpeach.com. It genuinely helps keep me going, and I appreciate you guys more than you know. All right, back to the episode. Okay, now let's contrast that with Amber Glenn. Instead of simply owning a rough performance, the conversation quickly became about everything but skating. We got social media posts, political commentary, and personal struggle framed as explanation. And look, nobody's denying, that being a woman comes with real challenges. Competing at an elite level is brutal, but the Olympics are the moment you prepare for your entire life. You don't show up and try to explain away your results. You just show up to perform. Amber finished in 13th place, and here is her performance. You can see the look of defeat on her face, and then she starts crying. Afterward, instead of saying, you know what, I had an off day, the narrative just turned into explanations. One of the reasons she publicly gave was because she was on her period, and it made competing harder and more emotional. And no, I am not joking, she really did say that. Here is one of her posts. It is a quote from her. It says, I'm on my period right now, so it's always really hard, especially when you're wearing something like this and have to perform in front of the world. That's hard and people don't talk about it. And if that wasn't enough, she even posted on her story, you can pause to read, talking about how hard it is to perform while you're on your period. Now listen, every woman understands hormones are real. I am living, breathing proof of it. Competing while uncomfortable is not fun, but the Olympics aren't a surprise pop quiz. This is something you train your entire life for. Elite athletes prepare for every variable: nerves, injuries, jet lag, bad ice, bad judges, and bad days. I mean, the expectation at this level isn't perfection, it's accountability. And here's why people reacted the way they did, because when you frame a tough performance around biology instead of preparation, it doesn't just affect how people view you, it affects how people talk about women in elite competition. Most women don't want special treatment. We want to be taken seriously. We want to be trusted with responsibility. And when the explanation becomes, well, I couldn't perform well because I was on my period, it feeds the exact stereotype women have spent decades trying to dismantle, that we're unreliable under pressure. You can acknowledge that something was hard without making it the headline. You can be honest without turning personal discomfort into the story of the competition. At the Olympic level, the standard is simple. You show up, you compete, and if it doesn't go your way, you own it and you come back stronger. And what really rubbed people the wrong way is how quickly the focus shifted from sport to platform, from training to talking points, from performance to politics. It's not shocking that she turned into the victim here, because let me just play this clip for you during one of her interviews.
It's been a hard time for the community overall under this administration. It isn't the first time that we've had to come together as a community and try and fight for our human rights. And now, especially, it's not just affecting the queer community, but many other communities. And I think that we are able to support each other in a way that we didn't have to before. And because of that, it's made us a lot stronger. I hope I can use my platform and my voice throughout these games to try and encourage people to stay strong in these hard times. I know that a lot of people will say, you're just an athlete, like stick to your job, shut up about politics, but politics affect us all. It is something that I will not just be quiet about, because it is something that affects us in our everyday lives. So, of course, there are things that I disagree with, but as a community, we are strong and we support each other, and brighter days are ahead of us.
She spoke about identity, representation, and using the Olympic stage to send messages. And you know what? You're allowed to care about those things, but when you step onto Olympic ice, the job is skating. The medal table doesn't move based on hashtags, it moves because of execution. And here's the contrast people can't stop talking about. One athlete showed up grounded, focused, and grateful to wear USA on her chest, Alysa Liu. And then the other carried cultural battles into a competition that rewards discipline, precision, and composure. And then there's the men's hockey team. For the first time in over 4 decades, Team USA takes home gold, echoing the legacy of the miracle on ice. And when the guys were asked about it, what did they talk about? Brotherhood, pride, and representing the United States. Not perfection, not politics, just pride. Listen to this interview.
Excited to be going to the White House and meeting Trump?
Yeah, we're excited. I mean, anytime, like, everything is so political. We're athletes. We're so proud to represent the U.S. And when you get the chance to go to the White House, meet the president, you know, we're proud to be Americans, and you know, that's so patriotic. So no matter what your views are, we're super excited to go to the White House tomorrow and just be a part of that.
And here's another interview as well.
Back the first gold medal for the United States in 46 years, and you delivered it. Can you just describe the emotions of this moment right now?
This is all about our country right now. I love the USA. I love my teammates. It's unbelievable. The USA Hockey Brotherhood is so strong, and we have so much support from ex-players. I'm so proud to be American today.
And somehow that made people mad, specifically leftists. They were criticized for being excited to visit the White House. And here's my take. Athletes shouldn't have to pass an ideological test to celebrate a historic win. You can be proud to represent your country without endorsing every single thing your government has ever done. I mean, if I won a gold medal and I was presented to meet Biden or some Democratic president, I still wouldn't say no. That's called being emotionally mature. Okay, what really stuck out with me was that the team honored Johnny Gaudreau. If you're not familiar with his story, Johnny wasn't just a great hockey player. He was a teammate, a husband, and a dad. He and his brother were tragically killed in a car accident the night before their sister's wedding, which is so tragic. He left behind his wife and young kids, and it's just heartbreaking to think that if that hadn't happened, he would have very likely been out there on ice with this team. So when Team USA carried his jersey with him, that wasn't for attention or headlines. That was about honoring someone who should have been standing beside them. They brought his jersey onto the ice, and they made sure that his kids were included in the photo and created space for him in a moment that he should have been a part of. That moment wasn't political. That moment was just human. And that moment was about brotherhood. And that's what the Olympics are supposed to look like, not turning every interview into a soapbox, not making identity bigger than performance, and not shaming people for loving their country. The Olympics are about discipline, sacrifice, and representing something bigger than yourself. You don't have to agree with everything about America to love America. You don't have to hate your country to care about change. And you definitely don't have to turn every gold medal moment into a political debate. Show up, put in the work, compete with pride. The podium rewards focus, not activism. Here's the bottom line after watching this year's Winter Olympics play out. The podium doesn't care about your politics. The judges, they don't care about your Instagram captions. And the ice doesn't care about your personal brand. What wins is preparation. What wins is discipline. What wins is showing up grateful for the jersey on your back and the country on your chest. We saw what happens when athletes treat the Olympics like they're supposed to be, the highest level of competition in the world. We also saw what happens when the spotlight becomes bigger than the sport, and the contrast could not be clearer. One mindset says, I'm here to compete, and the other says, I'm here to perform for the cameras. And only one of those walks away with gold. You can care about issues. You can have personal beliefs. You can fight for things you believe in. But when you step onto the Olympic ice, you are representing more than just yourself. You're representing your teammates, you're representing your coaches, your family, and your country. And that's not oppression, that is an honor. So if there's one lesson to take away from this Olympics, it's that focus wins, gratitude wins, and pride in where you come from wins. Love your country, work hard, leave the excuses at home. I'll see you in the next episode, and don't forget to hit like and subscribe.